So with less than 10 hours to go now to hammer out the deal, President Obama just a short time ago made it clear he is not at all resigned to a government shutdown.
If you set aside the short-term politics and you look at the long term here, what it simply requires is everybody to act responsibly and do what's right for the American people.
Negotiations will play a key role in getting that done, and Donald Trump is one of the best negotiators in the world, and he joins me now. Thank you so much for coming in studio, Donald, on my inaugural day.
Well, I'm very proud of you, and that's a big statement you just made, but we are a country that's in trouble. There's no question about it.
Of course, you wrote The Art of the Deal, a bestseller book, years ago, and I was interested in getting sort of your main bullet points from that book. You're one of the premier negotiators in the world. What would you do if you were sitting down with members of Congress right now and trying to hammer this thing out?
Well, Gretchen, you have to respect the other side. You know there's a lack of respect right now, and we see it very strongly. But you have to respect the other side. They don't like each other. They don't respect each other. They don't think well of each other. They don't get along together. They don't go out together. Every once in a while they'll play golf, but not enough. And it's really a problem for the country. There's a lot of hatred among the parties. And if you can't understand the other side, and they really don't, and the president, in all fairness, he's the leader. He's the one that has to get everybody in a room and get it done. But if you don't respect the other side, and if you don't want to get them into a room and get it done like it has to be, nothing's going to happen. Now, whether there's a shutdown, who knows? That would be horrible if it was, but there's a very good chance, because Obamacare is a total disaster. And ultimately, Obamacare anyway will shut down this country.
Oh, bold statement from you, Donald, today. So some of your tips: trust your instincts. This is what you said: he who has the gold makes the rules. What do you mean? Well,
in this case, they sort of all have the gold, but the gold is rapidly being taken away from the country. It's being taken away by many other countries and by almost anybody that does business. I was just watching Syria 2 weeks ago, a total disaster, the way we handled that, a total disaster, because now Russians, basically Syria is there. He's going to be there for a long time. Russia won that whole thing. It was a very silent but deadly negotiation. We have to do a lot better than that. Iran, I mean, the president shouldn't act so thrilled that they agree to talk to us for 2 seconds on a telephone call. And you have to play your cards a little bit closer to the vest, because I think Iran probably just wants time. They're biding and they want time. Right. So we're going to have to be a little bit tougher and a little bit smarter and get it done.
You also say patience, an enormous virtue. Yeah. But right now, with less than 10 hours, who's patient?
There's not a lot of time for patience. I always like patience, but in negotiations, sometimes you can't have so much patience, and this is a case. Now, we have violated this before. I mean, it has gone into, everyone says, oh, this would be catastrophic. I don't think it would be so catastrophic, and I think actually the Republicans have a lot of cards. But if they're going to play those cards, they better play them now. You have the debt ceiling coming up. It's going to be another time. But you can't play it twice as easily. Now, it'll be very interesting to see. But they're really fighting hard to do something about Obamacare.
So what are the cards in your mind?
Well, the cards are there's going to be a shutdown. And nobody wants to see shutdown. And I have to tell you, the pressure, I think, is much more on the president. Because when you look back at legacy, at history, they're not going to be talking about Boehner. They're not going to be talking about Reid. They're not going to be talking about, they're going to be talking about Obama's administration. So I really think the pressure is on Obama to make a deal, because he doesn't want this in his resume.
Finally, view any conflict as an opportunity. A lot of people don't like conflict. Why do you see it as an opportunity?
Well, I think this is a great opportunity for a lot of people. It actually is an opportunity for the Democrats as well. The Democrats don't want to take a vote on Obamacare. They're all running for election. Many are running for election. They don't want to have to vote again, because it's a very unpopular thing. So it's an opportunity, and it is actually a pretty good opportunity for the Republicans if they stick together. They are not sticking together. If they stick together, and if they're smart, it's a great opportunity for the Republicans to do something very good for this country.
Well, everyone knows you have a hit show over on NBC with Celebrity Apprentice, but NBC right now is going to help launch Obamacare, actually telling people this week how to sign up for it, how to make it easier. Do you have any cognitive dissonance in your mind when you look at the part of the company that employs you, and the fact that you just said that you believe Obamacare will be Obama's downfall?
Well, I've long loved NBC because we've had such a great relationship together, but their, you know, their whole political thing is a little bit out there. There's no question about that. And I watched that the other night on the news where they're telling you how to go about it. I don't read anything into that. I just think it's, you know, something that they're doing. They're actually very fine people.
One of the things that I want to do on this show, Donald, talking about being real, is having guests, you know, tell our viewers maybe a couple things that they have never known about somebody like yourself. And actually, I hold in my hand something that people may not know. Now, should I reveal it?
Well, I don't know what it is exactly, but why not?
All right. So, this is the Donald and me
Wow.
25 years ago.
Wow.
Do you remember where this was?
Wow, it looks to me like it might be in Atlantic City.
It was in Atlantic City.
I can see by the posts.
And it was on your yacht.
Wow, that's really great. Wow.
When I was competing
Well,
in the
you
Miss
look
America
better,
pageant.
and I don't look as good.
Now, here's the question. Who has changed more? The Donald or Gretchen in that picture?
I tell you what, I think you've changed really for the better. You look fabulous, and it's a great honor to be on your first show. And when I was called, they said it was your first. I said, I'm actually talking about, I am negotiating a very big deal. I said, I am leaving that negotiation because you've always been so nice to me, and I appreciate it.
Well, the same back at you, Donald.
And you're going to have great success. I have no doubt about it.
Well, thank you so much, and I really appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thanks.